Okay, take one. Okay, welcome to a podcast that I decided to do on two personalities. Okay, I'm going to talk about those two personalities I chose. The first one is about the rhythm and blues. What is the rhythm and blues? You might ask. Well, it's mainly the umbrella that is composed of several styles, including jazz, swing, gospel, and of course the blues. So it was always like the mixture of those, which led to the change name because it's a very long name to mention, to be honest. So they decided to change it to R&B, which I personally myself I did not know it was R&B until now, and it's changed to rhythm and blues. In 1947, executives at Billboard magazine decided to change the name. But what is the blues? But what is the blues and swing composed of? It's composed of big groups of men slash people who are with horns, woodwinds, and that have rhythm, where people play and many improvise the idea of music. One big example is the record. The record recorded 1 o'clock jump by William. Now for rhythm. What is it composed of? Early bands of jazz and blues were composed of four phases. The drummer begins to emphasize the backseat beats 2 and 4, like Good Good Rockin' Tonight has a strong 2 and 4 beat. Okay, now that was basically a little small overview of what the blues and rhythm are, or rhythm and blues. Now the next personality I chose is that I chose was teen idols. What are teen idols? You may ask. Well, this one is a very self-explanatory one. It's where young audiences find themselves being attracted to the singer itself. So some artists are attracted by the younger audience. So some of those would be Frankie Avalon, Paul Anka, Chubby Checker, Fabian, Bobby Rydell, and Connie Francis. It's led to this because the record companies wanted it to be a nice clean cut of rock and roll. Majority of those majority of these idols make songs for teens, like they're included of teen romances music, and they project a non-threatening image of rock. So it targeted basically the main younger audiences, the ones that are technically that will basically go through love, and they are the ones that feel and connect the most to with this type of music. Okay, and one big idol would be the Twist, because during that time, people wanted a song to dance to, and these couple of kids thought about this dance. They're like, hey, we thought about the dance called the Twist, but we just need a song to it, which was a song by another idol named Chubby Checker. This song impacted the teens of that generation. Everyone loved the song because teens wanted a song for like to really just dance to, which went to being a number one hit in the nation. Okay, now let's talk about the contributions towards. Well, let's talk about the contributions of these two personalities. These two personalities are really a big one, in my opinion, which is why I chose these two. They really hit a big picture for each era. The rhythm and blues era really made and developed the music for a whole century. Like bebop marked a major shift in the role of jazz from a popular style of music for dancing to high alert, less accessible, cerebral musician music. The way the structure and the format really changed the music we know. Hound Dog, with its unmodified 12-bar structure and its melody centered on flattened third of the tonic. The other contribution was a Teen Idol. Teen Idol was, in my opinion, the big one for dispersion for rock and roll. Without it, majority of the music would have not been able to go big. But it did have some downfall too. The process had the implicit blessing of parents and other authority figures given the alternative, and the American youth would order the influence of more rebellious culture icons, including juvenile delinquents, feared to inhabit the streets, corners of every 1950 teen, and of course, rock and roll stars. So basically, the parents feared that their just young children would be influenced badly, in which case majority of them did, but it led to, I would say, the rock stars being well known much more better, because the more teens knew, the more they'll share with each other, which the more they became popular, which I think that's the case where clean cut rock and roll came into play and developed this like type of love song for those teenagers who just wanted to take a big whiff of like listening to that song and just relate to it. Okay, now let's compare and contrast these two personalities. Well, now it's the comparison part. I'm going to talk about how each personality are the same and how some of them are different. First, let's talk about the same. They both had some type of change in music, which in that case was like, of course, rhythm and blues led to much more artists being able to use what was made before and contribute to their own type of work, which led to other musicians being influenced by their own type of music. The way music is played, basically, it gave ideas, of course, again to other musicians on different ways to play music. They'll take a few parts here and there, and it'll lead them to change the way they play, especially for teen idols, because they figure that, oh, the young new teens, they want some rebellious stuff, or some other ones are like, oh, they want some soft cutting edge. Let's change our ways of clothing and stuff like that. So it led to that. And another one would be who listens to the music now, because of course they're both the same. They had to be different / unique, so they attracted teens clothing by the clothing, obviously, and the lyrics they wrote, and they changed the way certain beats go, attracted much more audiences. So obviously teen idols had to switch around and figure out, okay, what are these teens gonna like, what do I have to play. And then rhythm and blues, they figured out with the 2 and 4 beats that, whoa, there's actually rhythmic beat that we must keep doing, and we can switch around so people can like. Okay, the different part. Let's start out with teen idols. It was probably maybe only one singer singing, maybe 2 or 3, but it usually was one singing. So that's one major difference compared to rhythm and blues. Which they attracted many young people. That's what from the name is teen idols. They attracted all majority of the population, which was young people, and it led to a rebellious age for teens. Of course, whatever they sang about or influenced by their clothing or way of being, it got stuck to the mind of the children. And then different would be for rhythm and blues would be it's a big group of people playing, so at least 8 to 10 people playing at the same time, which also has improvise, which Teen Idol doesn't, and really emphasizes the 2 to 4 beat. So basically on the 4th beat they really emphasized that a lot, and they sang about everyday problems, so something older people can relate to, I would say, in a way, compared to teen idols where they'll just talk about love. Okay, so in conclusion, teen idols and rhythm and blues really have made a great impact on today's world, even to their own era of music. To teens being more rebellious and involved in music, to barely finding out barely finding out what will be the leading future for music. This has been Anton Lopez, and I hope you enjoyed this run through of these two personalities.